The yeast employed in baking bread are unicellular organisms with the scientific name of Saccharomyces cerevisiae. They have elliptical shape and a diameter from 5 to 10 micrometer. The word yeast comes from the Indo-European root yeast, meaning bubble. It's thanks to the bubbles created by yeast that the dough rises. Indeed, if yeast is added to the flour, gives rise to the alcoholic fermentation. But how is this process made? The process comprises more steps. The first one is glycolysis. During this step, yeast feed on glucose, which is in the flour starch. Yeast digests glucose by breaking it down into pyruvate molecules with also ATP formation. It's the ATP molecule to give energy to the yeast cells, being the molecule which is source of energy of all the living organisms. Did you know that glycolysis is a step involved also in our respiration process? However, what changes in yeast is the next step. Indeed, pyruvate gives rise to alcoholic fermentation under anaerobic conditions. Here, pyruvate loses CO2 and is reduced to ethanol by NADH and enzymes. That's where gluten comes into play. Gluten is a proteic complex made of two proteins, glutenin and gliadin. Both are responsible for the stability and elasticity of the dough. CO2, which is produced during fermentation, is a gas and goes to bind to the gluten. In this way, CO2 is embedded in the so-called gluten network and blows up the dough. And this explains how from a heap of flour, a bit of water and minute organisms, those puffed loaves are created.